In the last video, I challenged myself to finish Final Fantasy XIV without using any of the abilities that the game gives you, whether it's damage abilities or not. Pretty much I wasn't allowed to press buttons. Now you're probably thinking, it's an MMO, you have to defeat enemies to complete your quests. How are you gonna do that? Well, are you just gonna slash prey every 5 minutes? Or just wait until they die of old age? Well, you probably figured out by now that the only way we can deal damage without pressing buttons is auto attacks. And it is the lowest amount of DPS that you can possibly do. And if you're wondering if auto attacks alone are enough to defeat enemies or even go through damage checks, well, to that I say you might have missed my first video where I cleared A Realm Reborn with this challenge. And after seeing how you guys liked it and told me to keep going, I decided to listen and move forward to the first expansion, Heavensward. Now I gotta say some parts were easier than A Realm Reborn, but other parts were much harder. And there was a point where I pretty much believed with all my heart that the challenge was over. I lost on very easy mode so many times, but we'll get to that once we go over the run. What I like about this challenge is, as some of you pointed out, is that it ended up being not only for entertainment purposes, but also as an experiment to see just how low of a DPS can you do and still be able to clear content. It shines light on the minimum required DPS, like throwing a glow stick to see the bottom of the deepest, longest, most infinite well in the world. And so without further ado, let's go over the run. Quick reminder, if you like these types of videos that take longer to finish and would like to see more of them, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. Thank you so much, and let's continue our journey. Last time we stopped after finishing the main story quests and saw the credits, but as I mentioned in my pinned comment, I had already started another challenge with this character. I haven't done any of the Heavensward quests with it, or even half of the post-Realm Reborn ones, but during that challenge I unlocked Bard. But to be honest, I probably would have unlocked Bard anyways, because after A Realm Reborn, there's a lot of trials that you can't do with NPCs, and you have to do them with other players. And so, just so I can blend in with the background more, I have to unlock Bard. You know, you don't really want to stand out when you're only using auto attacks. First thing I did was clean up my hotbar again, remove all GCDs and leave one, and all the other OGCDs so you can tell if I used them or not. And with everything set, it was time to head out. At the beginning, the quests weren't really that different from before, to be honest, so without abilities you can do them no problem. So I did Beardman, Snowcloak, and Shiva. But then I hit the point where I thought, yeah, this is where the challenge ends. It was this solo duty where basically you have to protect this guy, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Ilberd. First thing I did, I killed the healer because otherwise nobody else dies. And by the time I did that, 6 more ads spawned, followed by 2 death claws or hands or whatever you want to call them. And these 2 hands will immediately grab 2 of your NPCs and start killing them. But luckily they have very low HP, so without abilities you can kill them. 6 more ads spawn, but this time they include a big Colossus who will cleave, AoE, and destroy the fuck out of your NPCs. And if you think, oh, we'll just kill him first, along with him there is a healer who you have to kill first before you can kill Colossus. And of course, nobody else helps you to kill this healer. So by the time you kill the healer, your whole team is pretty much dead. And to make it even worse, just to make sure that you die, every time this Colossus spawns, he goes straight to your healer like a man on a fucking mission. So on the normal mode run, I wasn't even able to kill his healer. So that one ended fast. But at first I thought, I mean, as usual, you just go very easy and you clear it very easily, right? But even though his healer died faster, by the time I kill his healer, my team is dead or almost dead. So attempt number 2 failed. I tried one more time. Attempt number 3. Failed. At this point I thought, well, I lost on very easy twice. I have to change something, right? So I thought maybe I need to gear up. But the problem is, the gear pieces that give me a significant boost in damage are all expensive on the market board. And if I use all my gil now when I haven't even entered Heavensward, I might not have enough gil to upgrade my gear later on. So I just bought a slightly better weapon because it was pretty cheap and went back in. Also, in one of the attempts, I tried to kill Eileen. I thought maybe she's the one who's dealing the most damage to Ilberd, but turns out she doesn't die. You have to kill everybody else first. So as usual, killed the healer, killed the death claws. Eventually I managed to kill the Colossus, but at that point my whole team was very low, and when a ton of ads spawn, they just finish it off. I tried one more time without having any different plans, just to see if maybe like the NPCs will target different ones and things will work out, but no, it failed again. I started to get fed up with this fight and frustrated, so I just said, stop. Let's think about this. What can I do here? What do I have control over? Well, you can control your damage. Wait, who the fuck are you? I'm just your voice with an echo effect. You know what? Whatever. What were you saying? That you have control over your damage. I mean, I'm limited to auto attacks only, and I don't think I really have control over my damage. And it seems like I need way more damage to do this, like abilities damage. But okay, what else do I have control over? Your movement and who you target. Okay, that's true. Seems like those are the only thing I have control over, so how do I win this? Just don't let this guy die. And how? What do you mean how? By minimizing the damage that he takes. Yeah, but I can't kill the enemies who are attacking him. Wait, this doesn't say that I have to kill them. I have an idea. If there's any way that I can be impactful by only being able to move, target, and deal a little amount of damage, then there are two things I need to optimize. One, finishing off kills, and 2, dealing just enough of my little damage to aggro them away and kite them. And with that in mind, I went back in. First things first, kill the healer, kill the death claws, finish off 1 kill, 2 kills before the Colossus comes in, finish off the 3rd and 4th kills, focus the Colossus healer. I tried kiting because it seemed to interrupt her cast, and after she died, there was only 2 other enemies beside Colossus. 4 new enemies spawn, aggro one of them. The Colossus is now low, so I can focus on finishing him off. The Colossus dies, aggro as many mobs as I can. I don't have to attack anyone I'm aggroing because they're not dealing any damage. And when there was nobody attacking Ilberd, then it was time to kill the enemies I'm kiting. And one by one they fall, and Ilberd stays alive. The challenge continues. Then I went back to doing quests, but before I could continue, I got to the point where you have to do the hard mode of the previous trials, like hard mode Ifrit and Titan Garuda. You know what the weird thing is? I had to do a lot of trials with other players this time, right? And not one time anyone even noticed that the bard they have is literally not pressing a single button. Like, the damage was same as usual. I mean, like I said last time, I know this is main story content, but I would have preferred if you at least had to press just one button, just one, to have an impact on the team, on the fight. So if you're a new player that's going through the story, how do I say this? You are not worthless. Sometimes. I did the dungeon and then I met one of you guys. Let me quickly remind you of something I said in the previous video. If you made it all the way till the end of the video, I will send you 5 gil in-game when I see you. Or a cookie, depending on the day. So, you can kind of guess what the conversation starter was. By the way, I know there's more people asking for it in the comments, but to you guys I say, meet me at my office, we'll make a deal. But anyways, it turns out that they're also doing a challenge themselves, a permadeath challenge. So, Corone or Corone, I don't know what the fuck it's called. But if you're watching this, best of luck to you, buddy. Let me know how it went, because between the time I record the run and I finish editing, there's like 5 light years. So then I said goodbye and continued my quests. And then I did the Steps of Faith, which got really close, to be honest. I think 20 seconds more and I would have lost. Angie Lala, more quests, next day, more quests. I feel like I'm gonna call this series More Quests. And then I had to do the 3 alliance raids to continue. So I did Labyrinth, Tower, and World of Darkness, and I finally reached the first area of Heavensward. The expansion finally started. Attune to the crystal, run on small legs, do quests. Now, as you can see, since the enemies are now Heavensward enemies, I start taking a lot more damage. You can see that after killing one of these 3 enemies, I already lost like third of my health. And my damage compared to my chocobo is nothing. To be completely honest with you, everything that is outside trials and dungeons, I got carried by my chocobo. It was definitely the right decision to unlock companion early. By the way, I didn't know that they reduced the amount of ether currents needed by a lot. I really like this change. This is a change that can be categorized under making things easier that I don't mind, because there's nothing engaging in collecting ether currents. They are just a pure grind for something that you have to get. Like, you can't compare it to relic weapons, for example, because not everyone has to get relic weapons to go through this pain or grind to get this shiny thing, which makes it feel a bit rare or unique. But flying is pretty much necessary. And speaking of grind, some of you might think, you know, why am I limiting my gil to what I get from quests? Like, why am I so worried about losing all my gil and trying to manage it properly and trying to only buy the things that really matter for me when I can just go level up crafters and make my own gil? For me, if the challenge can be overcome by going through a grind, then the challenge itself becomes the grind. I'll be spending most of the run grinding levels or gear. The outcome kind of becomes expected, whereas with this challenge, it can get really slow, but at least the outcome is unexpected. Sometimes I might not be able to deal enough damage without using any abilities, and the weird thing is it's happening, it's working. But mainly I don't do these challenges because of the grind itself. I just really hate grinding. I try to stay away from it as much as I can. So if there's a challenge requirement that requires just simply grinding and going back, most likely I won't be doing it. Then I got to a solo duty where I almost got stuck, because on normal mode I was trying to kill the healer but I couldn't do it, and so they won't die, and so I had to restart on very easy. But I have to die to restart and I can't. So I pulled as many mobs as I can, and it was barely enough. It took a while to restart. And so that kind of sparked a tiny bit of an idea in my head, but I ignored it and kept going. And after some quests, I get to another solo duty where I fail on normal mode, waste time by actually trying to win on normal mode, and then win on very easy. Do some more quests, and then I get to a third duty where I fail on normal and then do it on very easy. Then I do more quests, unlock a new area, then I did Ravana and a dungeon, more flying, then I did the vault, and eventually I got to another solo duty, but I have learned from my lessons in the past. So this time, I decided before I enter the duty, I should take off all my gear to speed up dying and going faster to very easy, because I was just wasting time trying on normal mode. And I gotta say, it does look like something you can't show on YouTube. But let's just say that all these heavily armed men were just giving very enthusiastic high fives to my Lalafell. They were just so happy that I made it this far. But it worked. It took 1 minute to get Echo and very easy mode, and it went as planned. Then I did the Limitless Blue, the fight where I delivered an absolutely Oscar-nominated performance, acting like I'm actually helping in any way when I'm not doing jack shit. But hey, it worked out. You can't say it didn't. Nobody noticed.
Floor 21, going up.
More flying unlocked, more flying, and we are almost at the final area of Heavensward. So I take a break, come back the next day. By the way, is it just me or are fem auras taking over? What happened to cat girls being the most popular female race? Another solo duty, take off all my gear, easy peasy. And a few quests later, and I finally reached the final area of Heavensward. I didn't know that they removed all of the exploratory ether currents, whatever you call them. Like, they only left the ones you get from quests. But I mean, I'm not saying no to that. Honestly, even though this area was the last area in Heavensward, I think it was the easiest one. I don't remember anything from it. Like, it all went smoothly. Unlocked flying, the final dungeon with NPCs, and then the final boss of Heavensward. And apparently one of you guys was with me in this fight, fighting shoulder by shoulder, well, shoulder by knee. And to be honest, the fight went as you'd expect. Nothing really happened. It's just like doing a trial roulette. But after the fight, someone posted a comment on my previous video saying that they were the paladin in that run. And so if you're watching this video, Orien Strix, first of all, it was nice to meet you, my friend. Second of all, there's a slight mistake that you did, but it's very easy to fix it. You just go to the Mog store, buy a Fantasia, and then change to this one right here. You see it? Right here. Final boss dies, credits roll. Honestly, as you probably noticed, Heavensward didn't really have any difficult moments for a no abilities run. There were definitely points where I barely made it, but still most of the time it was the first try. Not like the duty from Post Realm Reborn. Well, if we count that as part of Heavensward, then sure, but other than that, there was nothing else during the whole expansion itself. But it was still fun. I really enjoyed it. It's something different. Like I said in the last video, when you do like a challenge, it makes the whole game sort of feel new, and I really like that. And I like that you guys are enjoying it. It really puts a smile on my face when I see people enjoying it. But now the question is, do you guys think Stormblood will be harder without abilities? Or actually, which expansion do you guys think that will just put an end to this challenge? Let me know. I'd actually like to prepare myself mentally before I enter that specific expansion. Also, I have a different plan for Stormblood. I'm thinking I'm gonna stream it, and not stream it for the sake of streaming it, but stream it because I want to get to know you guys. I really do, because I recently came back to the game and I want to sort of rebuild. And I've always said this about this game, and you can take it however you want. If you're playing Final Fantasy XIV solo with zero social aspect, that's not how this game is meant to be played. And of course, it's not that I'm telling you how you should play it. You do you. I mean, why would I care how random person on internet plays their video game? But I think you're missing out on such a beautiful part of this game, and it's probably not even your fault that you didn't find the community that you belong with. Because first of all, FCs are the main way of socializing and joining groups and belonging with them, and those are limited to your server. Second of all, some FCs advertise themselves way more than others, and maybe those people are not the ones that you'll get along with. Some FCs are massive and you feel like just a number when you join them. Other FCs are small, but they try to get the chat going between people who just don't get along, and it just feels a bit forced and awkward. It becomes a conversation in the FC chat for the sake of having a conversation in the FC chat. Like, there's so many different types of FCs, and it's very hard, in my opinion at least, to find the ones that you really get along with. But trust me when I tell you, when you do, it makes the game 100 times more fun. And I was blessed to have that experience with my FC mates when I made my FC like 3-4 years ago, and I want to take my past experiences and move forward with them and rebuild. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. As usual, if you watched the video till the very end, I owe you 7 gil this time. Yes, it does stack with the previous video, so if you watched the first part and part 2, well, you can do the math there. But yeah, really appreciate watching this video. If you liked it, let me know by hitting the like button and maybe subscribing if you'd like to get notified when I release the next one, because I think the next one is gonna take a while. We'll see. I will see you guys later.